What's up, everyone? It's your host, Seth the Programmer. With me today, I have my good friend Swagkage.
Chuck the cyber cuck.
Swag the cuck. So, you guys were actually requesting this more than any other versus battle I've ever had, and that's Jiraiya versus Orochimaru. So, this battle is a little bit complicated. We've actually been talking about this for like the past 2 hours, trying to figure out how it's going to go.
This is even more complicated than Minato versus Itachi was, I think.
Yeah, honestly, it's extremely difficult to really go over. But we're going to go over different scenarios, so like base versus base, Sage mode versus Orochimaru, and then like Sage mode with Ma and Pa, even though that's what he needs to even go Sage mode, versus like Orochimaru with like Hokage summons and stuff like that. Anyways, how about you start off with base versus base? Let's just get that out of the way.
There are so many fucking variables in this fight, man. It is like, and a lot of them come down to just like things that are like straight up plot holes, like Orochimaru being like, I left Akatsuki 10 years ago because Itachi was just too strong, and like and it's like, but Itachi would be like 11 when that happened. So like, and like then there's also Itachi claiming that Jiraiya is stronger than him. Well, no, okay, well, it's actually more like Kisame claims that Jiraiya would murk both of them at the same time, when it's like what? No, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm pretty sure the thing is, a lot of people say like, "Oh, Itachi said Jiraiya is stronger than him," so but no, I think Itachi just didn't want to fight an ally, and Kisame was the person who initiated that conversation. And now, granted, I know this could be just me fucking coming up with a headcanon, but I'm pretty sure that it's reasonable to assume Itachi may have heard Kisame be like, I don't know if we can take this dude out, and he was just like, yeah, absolutely, probably right, yeah, we should probably get out of here, just so he didn't have to fight an ally, because, you know, he was working for the Leaf. So with that in mind, let's go into base to base. Easiest way to establish the difference is Jiraiya clearly states when talking to Tsunade and Kakashi that he got cucked by four-tailed kid Naruto.
Yep.
The same four-tailed kid Naruto that Orochimaru, with both of his arms Reaper Death sealed and in a different body, like kind of sick and like months away from death. Like, this is months before he was coughing up in his deathbed, like, holy fuck, get Sasuke in here, he did a fucking body swap. So like, if it was even months, it might have been just like days or weeks or something, I don't know. And so like, he was swapping hands with four-tailed Naruto, like, no problem. Like, okay, I feel like a lot of people forget that fight. I implore you, if you haven't watched or read it in a while, go watch it like alongside this video or something. It's so crazy because like, you know, like Naruto like blows up the whole forest, and then Orochimaru is just like, Naruto, you never cease to amaze me. And then like he like covers the whole thing with snakes, and then he's like there's this one part, dude. Yeah, this is one of the craziest physical feats in the whole series, where like summons swords from like the back of his throat or whatever, and so he does that, but this time it's like really long, and it's like
it covers the whole forest.
It covers like the whole forest, and he puts four-tailed Naruto on the tip of it. He lifts Naruto like 200 feet above the top of the trees, and then just carries him by stretching his neck and slams him into the ground and like blows up a huge chunk of the forest.
And this is just base Orochimaru while almost like on his deathbed.
Orochimaru, while nearing his deathbed. I mean, like, you know, base Sasuke kind of like no-diffed him. You know what I mean? So like he was really close to death. Now, granted, he wasn't in near as bad of a condition as he was when Sasuke fought him. Yeah. And I also think that may have just been an instance of Kishimoto really like putting Sasuke's dick in his mouth. He just really wanted to make Sasuke look cool when he did that. Yeah. But like, in any case, Orochimaru wasn't at his best when he fought Naruto.
It was kind of like the way Hiruzen versus Orochimaru kind of was. He just like wasn't at max power or in his prime per se.
Yeah, and I mean, he was doing like all of this crazy shit. And this isn't the first time Orochimaru has fought with a handicap. Yeah. Orochimaru also fought without either of his arms. Like, at least in the Naruto battle, because he switched bodies, he could use his arms. But against Jiraiya, he fought armless, dude. And he still went toe-to-toe with him. And granted, Jiraiya was drugged by Tsunade because she was actually considering using him as a fucking human sacrifice. Jiraiya was weakened, but are you really going to tell me that a Reaper Death Seal nerf is comparable to, like, a little roofie? And it's, like, not even, like, a full roofie. Jiraiya was just, like, roofie hangovered, right? Yeah. So, and
he's still able to, like, move and use jutsu and stuff.
Yeah, Orochimaru is, like, fighting Jiraiya with his tongue and shit.
Yeah, and I think objectively, the thing we just need to look at the most is that, one, okay, Jiraiya just got absolutely fucking stomped by Kid Naruto Four Tails. Now, the thing about Four Tails you need to realize is that Four Tails eats Naruto alive. He can't use it. He can't use it as long as y'all think. Like, it's gonna fucking eat him alive. So Jiraiya got mollywopped relatively quickly. And then Naruto, with a more durable body, comes at Orochimaru. And Orochimaru is now on the opposite end. He's fucking dying sick. He could barely substitute himself by the end of the battle. He's like, damn, I need my new body quick. So, and this Orochimaru is like equal to Naruto. It's like, oh.
He's laughing, dude. He's having the time of his fucking life.
A good time. So it's like prime Orochimaru might actually have been able to outdo Naruto. Because I know by the end of that four-tailed fight, Naruto was also fucking feeling it too. He's feeling that burn. Like he was like screaming in pain and shit as his body was being eaten. It's like, damn, just imagine Kid Naruto with that fucking cloak. It wouldn't have lasted very long at all.
Yeah, so, exactly. And, well, I think it's also fair to keep in, like, let me just put, like, Orochimaru's chakra reserves into perspective. So, like, Hashirama was able to casually summon quintuple Rashomon, right? And then, like, Sakon and Yukon had to work together to summon a single one. And then Orochimaru was able to summon 3, again, casually, no diff, while sick, and in a different body that he wasn't used to, which probably had less chakra reserves than his original body did.
Yeah. So Orochimaru did better against a stronger Four Tails than Jiraiya did against a weaker Four Tails, while Orochimaru was sick. So factually, Orochimaru base to base is stronger. That's just absolute fact. There's no arguing around it. We also know that Jiraiya and Orochimaru fought in the past, and that Jiraiya, we don't know.
This is aside from the time where Orochimaru beat him with no arms, but yeah.
But we don't know the outcome of that battle fully, but we do know that Jiraiya could not stop Orochimaru. So therefore,
I don't know if that was a case of him not being able to talk no jutsu Orochimaru back into the village, or if it was like a Final Valley type deal.
It was kind of implied, like they fought.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it was kind of implied that, like, well, I think, like, the thing is, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm just trying to address this before other people say it. I'm pretty sure it was a case like the Final Valley where Sasuke beat Naruto and then left, because it, like you said, it was heavily implied that they fought. Jiraiya fought Orochimaru. He wouldn't just stop, talk to him, and be like, I guess you gotta go. There's nothing I can do. You don't want it. Like, he would have beaten him, brought him back, and been like, you're not fucking doing that again. All right, you're my friend. You're gonna understand. Yeah,
exactly.
I think Orochimaru beat him, and granted, there's a big time difference between when that fight happened and like the Shippuden and all of that shit. But like, still, I think it sets a precedent. Like, obviously, Naruto got stronger than Sasuke, despite the fact that Sasuke beat him in the Final Valley. But again, it sets a precedent, and also Naruto and Sasuke were like 11 when they fought, whereas Orochimaru and Jiraiya were already adults. So
yeah, and then we know that after that, Jiraiya became like a imperfect sage. Tsunade learned 1,000 healings, while Orochimaru just trained jutsu.
Orochimaru learned like every other jutsu.
He was on that fucking grind. Like, he was grinding. And like, even
you're up to 1 million subscribers in like a month.
Like, even after Jiraiya became a sage, he became lazy, started fucking jerking off too much to like some Leaf Village porn or something. Yeah. Orochimaru was
spending Naruto's entire wallet on like women and shit.
Orochimaru was doing nothing but grinding. He was doing nothing but learning. So the gap between him and Jiraiya would only
on like living people and all of that.
He would only get more powerful. And it's just, when you think about it that way,
like, you can look at like a bunch of scenes like where he's just like on screen or where he's like in flashbacks, and you see his big fucking lab just full of shit.
Yeah,
just to learn jutsu, and that's like
learning about natural energy and shit.
That's like learning about like natural energy stuff that nobody even knows about. Like, he's talking about actually creating new jutsu the same way people, like, discovered a new color when they discovered that blue and yellow make green. Like, that's next level shit, dude.
He also has a superior summoning. I believe Manda is actually stronger than Gamabunta, if I remember right. And like Tsunade, this fucking slug, and Gamabunta had like to tag team Manda just to beat him. So he has a superior summoning. He's stronger at base.
Orochimaru, what do you expect? I'm pretty sure Snake greater than Frog. Snake stomps.
Yeah. So the real question isn't base to base, because base to base is obviously Orochimaru shit stomps, but it's like, now what about Sage Mode versus Orochimaru and stuff like that? That's where the real
all right, let me
interesting shit comes in.
Jiraiya does need Ma and Pa in Sage Mode to gather natural energy, but assuming that
hypothetical.
That they are there, but they are not able to assist him in battle, like just regular Sage Mode Jiraiya versus Orochimaru, this would be a lot more interesting, because Orochimaru's upper limits are never really explored, and neither are Jiraiya's. We saw Jiraiya kind of push himself to his max against Pain, but that was also while he was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. It's like picking up a fighting game that you've never fucking played before for the first time, and you're just kind of like button mashing and shit. Like, you don't know anything about what you're doing, and it's also like a 6v1. Like, you know, like, Jiraiya was kind of cucked in that situation.
Yeah,
but
even Pain stated that.
Yeah, but you can still gauge what he's capable of based off of that. You know, like, the data books do state that his Massive Rasengan is capable of, like, carving mountains and shit.
I actually have a arguing point to gauge how strong Sage Mode is, just as an example. So Six Tails fights Pain. Pain, even with Shinra Tensei, Six Tails is able to just fucking hold himself in place like a fucking tree and doesn't flinch, right? He's able to tank Shinra Tensei's. He's able to fucking just mollywop Pain's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I gotta Chubaku Tensei this dude. Like, he's too strong. So it's clear Six Tails is too strong. Now,
he backs away. He's like, I gotta Chubaku Tensei him. No other option.
There's no other option.
Yeah.
There's a filler series called Power, but he fights a Four Tails, and Sage Naruto is just fucking bodying this dude. Like, it looks like it's just absolute fucking domination. He's just completely shit stomping this Four Tails. So it's very clear that Sage Naruto is a massive portion above the Four Tails. So, I mean, even if you apply to Orochimaru, it's like a good bit stronger than he was versus the Four Tails. It's probably likely that Sage Naruto would probably be more powerful than Orochimaru. Now, you could argue Jiraiya is weaker than Sage Naruto since he has less perfect Sage Mode.
Yeah, I think Naruto's Sage Mode gives him a really extreme buff, because, like, there's no way base Naruto would be going toe-to-toe with the third Raikage, especially not as a shadow clone. So,
there's also something else, too, is that Orochimaru is, like, Four-Tailed-esque level, maybe probably greater in his prime. However, Orochimaru does have a jutsu to amplify his abilities much, much greater, and that is the Snake Hydra Form.
The 8-headed serpent jutsu is no joke, and a lot of people sleep on it because Itachi poked it and got rid of it and sealed Orochimaru and the little gourd. He has the Totsuka blade, which is like a one-shot weapon. Like, that's that's like a cheat code device.
He literally has the two most hacked weapons in the series: the Yatamir, which can block anything, and the Totsuka blade, which can stab anything. And
exactly. Yeah, it's the one-shot weapon and it can't get one-shotted shield. You know, like, it's fucking ridiculous. But Orochimaru, he didn't know that Itachi had those, because, like, he remarks, like, oh, the Yatamir and the Totsuka blade, I've been looking for those, and, like, I don't fucking know anything about that. I don't know how he was looking for Itachi's spirit weapons, how he knew they existed, or any of that, but that's not the point. The point is, he went into that without knowing about Itachi's possession of them, and, like, he knew about the Susanoo. He had to have. He's fucking Orochimaru, and he took a look at the Susanoo, and he was like, yeah, I can definitely fucking murk this with my 8-headed serpent. And it's not like this is just a statement either. He actually shakes it with an attack. Like, I actually think Itachi would have gotten fucked up by Orochimaru if not for the fact that he had the Totsuka blade. You know, he still has genjutsu and stuff, but I'm talking about like in just like sheer power. Orochimaru,
I think Orochimaru learned his lesson. It's just like I think people like sleep on it too much, and it's just it's very clear that the Hydra is relativistic to Sage Mode in terms of power. We know Orochimaru is looking into Senjutsu Sage Mode. He trained in fucking he trained in the Sage caves and shit, trying to learn Sage Mode, but his body was too imperfect. So he clearly knows a little bit about Senjutsu and natural energy.
Well, he developed the curse mark, so yeah.
He developed the curse mark. It's possible he might be able to even utilize something like that, by the way. But I don't want to use too much headcanon, but it's possible.
If Orochimaru pulled out like a cursed seal of heaven on Jiraiya, he might body him. That might be a crazy multiplier.
Yeah. So it's possible that the fucking Snake Hydra form is somewhat of a Senjutsu type of amp, which may be like a relative to Senjutsu, like, you know, Sage Mode-esque kind of thing, or a curse mark kind of deal.
Well, can we also mention the fact that Orochimaru was stated to be stronger than Snake Cloak Kabuto pre-Sage Mode?
Yeah, the one that was controlling thousands of fucking reanimated shinobi, like, Jesus. Like,
yeah, and keep in mind, like, you have to be strong enough to keep these shinobi under control all at once, right? And Kabuto had the third Raikage, Nagato, Itachi, and the only reason Itachi broke free wasn't because of like willpower, like or like his raw strength, like say Hashirama or Tobirama to an extent. Itachi required the strongest genjutsu of all time to break out. So like
he actually did,
Itachi, Nagato, the third rank, all of these old Kage actually, like the you know, Neji's dad. Fucking just like Gaara's dad, all of these people, Kakuzu, he actually had like the whole Akatsuki aside from Konan and Kisame. So, I mean, like, Kabuto's a big deal, and Orochimaru was stronger than him pre-Sage Mode. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's actually insane. So we do know for a fact that Orochimaru is actually insane, and with, you know, his fucking Hydra Snake, he'd be even more powerful. And I think just with the sheer fact that Orochimaru is just so much more like superior to Jiraiya in base form, that these two powers might actually somewhat.
Thing is, like, there's a pretty clear gap between like Sage Naruto's speed and Jiraiya's speed. And Sage Naruto was able to actually speed blitz the Osteropath, whereas like the Osteropath speed blitzed Jiraiya.
Yeah.
And so like there's like a massive gap there. So I think it's safe to say Orochimaru falls somewhere in between, and he might be faster. If anything, Jiraiya is definitely stronger. I will not even argue that. Putting aside the 8-headed serpent jutsu, the thing is, even despite that though, Orochimaru just has so many jutsu up his sleeve. Like he has to have at least 1,000.
Like, you can fucking cut him in half and fucking...
No, like, he'll split his own body in half and he'll stitch himself back together with snakes.
What will Jiraiya really do to the man? Like, fucking Rasengan him, and then, like, Orochimaru will just slither on out of his own body? I just... You need to realize that Orochimaru's chakra is almost talked about like it's fucking like Hashirama's like... Oh, I absorbed Orochimaru's chakra, so I received like this big amp or something, you know, like Kabuto or like Sasuke when he got Orochimaru's chakra. It's almost like they're talking about it like it's almost like Hashirama shit. Orochimaru is like the progenitor of this unique chakra that gives people these massive amps. He just has a massive influx of it, and he can honestly just spam so many jutsu to get out of these Sage jutsus. It's just, especially if you argue that Ma and Pa can't get involved, I think Orochimaru would outlast Sage Jiraiya.
Well, he has all of these like slippery techniques and stuff.
A lot of people get this misconception that Jiraiya is like stronger than Pain. I want to clear that up.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, for one, okay, Jiraiya never fought all the 6 paths of Pain at once. Like when he did, he just got fucked up. He fought 3. Tendo did say, "All right, my brothers," like he was separate people.
Yeah, it's really weird, right? Yeah, we talked about this before the video, and it makes no sense because like he already had Jiraiya write the message, "The real one is not among them." So like he clearly knew that Nagato was controlling these 6 dead bodies. So I don't know what he meant by that. It's like a really weird line, and it's hard to take seriously for that reason. But also, keep saying what you were saying. Yeah.
So he says, you know, if our teacher. Let's see, if we hadn't kept our secret, we would have never won. That's what he said. Now, there's a problem with that. For one, Pain could not use Shinra Tensei because he's in the fucking...
Well, he could use like a small like barrier version of it, but he couldn't use the one that blew up the whole Leaf Village on Jiraiya.
He couldn't really go all out. He couldn't use Chibaku or massive Shinra Tenseis because he would destroy his own village. That's probably what he's referring to, because
Yeah.
There's no way that Naruto, who has perfect Sage mode and is like, knows all of Pain's strategies and knows who he is. He has a little fucking slug telling him everything about him, and he barely fucking wins after having a 9-tails, 6-tails just fucking body tendo for him after he gets bodied. Yeah. It just nah.
Yeah, that was a weakened Pain. Like, he barely broke out of the Chibaku Tensei in like his 8-tailed form.
Yeah.
And this was a Chibaku Tensei that was weaker because Pain was strained after fighting the whole Leaf Village and using a chaotic Shinra Tensei to blow up the whole thing. Like, he had exhausted a lot of his chakra. Meanwhile, like, in the Rain Village, he's stronger. Yeah. And Jiraiya did not have a gigantic, like, fucking Biju inside of him that could have broken him out of a Chibaku Tensei. So I just don't know what he would have done if Pain would have just said, fuck the Rain Village, Chibaku Tensei. You know, like...
Lost.
Yeah, I just don't think that's a fair line to cite.
So basically what I'm arguing is that 8-tails, the 8-headed Hydra, is pretty close to Sage mode to begin with. Itachi hacks him out.
Yeah. Itachi hacks Orochimaru out. I think his 8-headed serpent gets downplayed, and I think Jiraiya gets wanked because of that line from Pain, when what Pain really meant is we might have gotten cucked because we couldn't use Chibaku Tensei in our own village.
We couldn't have gone all out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It can go either way, like I've said, but I'm edging a little bit more towards Orochimaru here because I do think Orochimaru, he has, like I said, relative power with his Hydra. He has superior chakra. He can charge his own Senjutsu a little bit because he understands how it works. He might be able to absorb Jiraiya's chakra. Yeah, and he also has just regenerative abilities massively beyond.
Oh, yeah, we also didn't mention his ability to absorb chakra, which he clearly displays when he takes it back from Kabuto.
Yeah, and they even say he could have taken Kabuto's chakra as well, so it's not
just
and
he's just like, why would I do that? It's no,
his chakra's fodder. But anyway, and then you could argue, okay, Jiraiya might be a little bit stronger, but then it's like without Mon Pa constantly holding Jiraiya's hand, constantly keeping Sage mode up, Jiraiya's just not going to last very long, and Orochimaru is just going to fucking body. So let's talk about Mappa Sage mode versus...
versus a full Orochimaru who gets assistance of his own, because I only think it's fair that if Jiraiya gets Mon Pa, Orochimaru gets his Edo Tensei summoned. And I think it goes without saying that Orochimaru with Hashirama and Tobirama shits on Jiraiya here.
I mean, these summonings were able to fucking body... Like, they were fucking dicking on Hiruzen, the same Hiruzen who still in his old age was stronger than any Kage alive.
Yeah, that's stated. Kabuto just stated. Yeah, we took out the strongest of the Kage. So
these reanimations are probably stronger than Raikage A or any of that. I mean, I know it's gonna trigger some people to say that, but they are insanely fucking powerful. It's possible that Jiraiya can win. He can Genjutsu GG. It might be possible that he's fucking just godly stronger. Okay, and he just
maybe Itachi wasn't lying. Maybe Jiraiya is stronger than Itachi, and like he just resists Tsukuyomi somehow.
Yeah, he just fucking absolutely destroys him.
I actually think that Orochimaru probably, like, if he has his reanimations like mid or mid-high diffs Jiraiya, because like Hashirama and Tobirama are just too strong, and then you have this like god level Orochimaru at prime with his arms in the back, who, you know, when weaker kept up with 4 tails, and like you have him fighting alongside these two Kage. It's just like it's a pretty hard sell to try and say that Jiraiya wins.
These guys are all relativistic to the 5 tails, 9 tails in terms of power. I mean,
who
knows what kind of amplification the fucking 8-headed Hydra gives you? It could be like a fucking curse mark.
It shook the Susanoo. So
like that shit could be like a 10 times multiplier, like Curse Mark 2. You never know, and that shit could be way beyond fucking 5 tails.
Well, Curse Mark 2 wasn't doing anything to Itachi's Susanoo.
Yeah,
but the Hydra was.
Yeah, that's
saying.
So it's just, and that's Susanoo that had the Yadamir. So who knows what the fuck that thing was capable of? Anyways, guys,
crazy how Madara would stomp both of them.
If you come up with a different opinion, feel free to voice it. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe to my boy Swagkage, almost 200K. Subscribe to me, almost 150. And until next time.